So let's get to the article. It's about Calendly, which is a calendar system. I use Calendly as well.
Yeah.
Could you give a background on people what that is if they're not
Yeah,
familiar?
sure. So, there are other systems out there. Some people use Acuity, which is very similar. I just happen to prefer Calendly. Acuity is good. I used to use another one that was kind of funny name. I'm trying to, Apt Toto, kind of a cool name. But basically, what Calendly is and systems like it is it's a tool that you can use it's not a calendar system, okay? So Calendly, sometimes people get confused. They think that Calendly is some kind of a calendar system.
Hmm.
Calendly is meant to be used with maybe your Gmail, Google Calendar, or your Outlook calendar. It syncs to those calendars, but it's a tool to create appointments. So you create different types of events, they call them in Calendly. So for
Hmm.
me, for example, I have about 10 different calendar events in my name on Calendly. I have one for a client paid consultation for the phone. I have another one for a client paid consultation on Zoom because I charge a different price for that. I have
Yeah.
another one for a paid client consultation in the office because it comes with special instructions on how to get to our office. And we've even used Calendly for existing client phone callback appointments. And
Mhm.
that's really been a game changer for us. So you can have many different appointment types. You give somebody like your receptionist the Calendly booking link, or you can even give it directly to a lead or a client or put it on your website and they click on it. And I'm sure many of us have seen that before, right? Click on my booking link, click here, you
Yeah.
book, you get the selected times available, and you book the appointment.
What I found is I use it for family and friends and stuff, and they get really annoyed that I'm sending them that. But I'm like, it's the best way to do it. Like, why?
Oh, I know. Well, yeah, I haven't gone that far, but I do use it for colleagues. Like, if somebody's calling me, like today, somebody called me on something, and I told my assistant, like, book them on my Calendly here, a 15-minute phone call back appointment, because otherwise you're constantly chasing people back and
Yeah.
forth, right?
Did you use Acuity? Did you test it out?
I did. I tried it out. I think I even many years ago had an Acuity account. And I don't know what brought me to Calendly, but by the time I needed to use a calendar system, I've been using Calendly for several years now. I just like it. I do know one fun fact that it was actually invented by an immigrant. I think
Hmm.
he was from an African country. Is that right? From
Maybe
Nigeria
Nigeria
or
or something
something?
like that. Yeah.
It's kind of cool, his story. Yeah. But it's a great app. And the other thing I like about Calendly, it has a very good open API, which means that you can sync Calendly to other apps. So for me, I can have my Calendly events automated so that the appointments appear in my Monday system. So when
Mhm.
somebody books a Calendly consultation with me, it automatically goes into my Monday system. It's tracked as a new lead. It's tracked as the meeting date and time.
Do you use Zapier to connect them?
No, you can use Zapier for connecting Calendly to various apps. My connections are actually all done with my Monday system through make.com, which is kind of like, it used to be called Integromat. Make.com is kind of like Zapier on steroids. Like it's a way more, you can do a lot more with Make, but it's not something I could create myself. So you do need someone with some computer programming knowledge. I do have
Oh,
someone that I work with that I use for my, law firm legal clients as well. He helps me with all those integrations. But you can definitely use Zapier on your own to connect it to various other apps.
because I have it where someone schedules on Calendly and then goes Zapier goes to Trello. But like we have questions in Calendly that when someone's signing up for consultation, a series of questions we ask to make sure like it's the kind of case we handle. And I like those questions to move over to our to the Trello board or Monday board.
Yeah.
But the questions come, the answers don't. So there's some sort of glitch in it that doesn't let that happen, which is kind
Yeah,
of
that's where you would, yeah, see, Zapier only has pre-built zaps that are limited. So there's often so much more you can do, but you would need a tool like Make to do that because we couldn't use Zapier for my Monday integration. Now, all those comments do come through on my Monday integration. So whatever someone types in there, all the comments that the
Yeah.
actual person types in does come through. And that's because we do it through make.com.
Now, going back to Acuity, just everyone always talks. It's always Calendly Acuity and App Toto. I remember I bought that because I had a good deal, like lifetime service. I bought it, but I never used it. So I'm not sure what happened with that. But
Yeah.
I'm always wondering, like, what's the difference? But it's like learning new software is kind of hard, so I just stuck with Calendly because it's pretty flexible.
Yeah. Yeah. The cool thing with App Toto, and I used it for many years, it's not quite as user friendly, but it's really more like the doctor's or dentist's office reminders where it reminds you to confirm, right?
Oh,
So
yeah.
Calendly just will send your client a reminder to come to your appointment or whatever. But App Toto has that cool feature where your client will get a text saying, you have an appointment with Nadine on such and such, please confirm here. And you click to confirm or you click to cancel. So it's really more modeled after like what I find doctors and dentists use.
Makes sense.
Yeah, and you can also create it in different languages and stuff like that, which I'm sure you could do with Calendly as well. But Calendly just has a really robust, so many features.
Yeah, there's a lot. I mean, they send updates. Like one feature that I want to use is like I have a question tree. So before they get to a consultation, there's like yes or no, and leads you down a tree of like ways you can go. Because one thing, like always have people email us, and then to get what their situation is, and then I send them a link to sign for paid consultation. But like this week, we've had like our heater broke, so I went to different websites. And a lot of them said, call me the way I tell people to, or email me and we'll get back to you. And I was like, oh, that's annoying. I wish I would just go and schedule a time for a person to come. I'm like, you know what? Like, I got to take how other services do it and bring that here. Because that's I'm losing people along the way who find me. Because I found a bunch of people I didn't go to the website, it wasn't helpful. But I hired someone whose website let me schedule a meeting or an appointment for the guy to come right then. So I'm like, I need to add that to my website. But for example, we don't do asylum. And so I'm like, it's always hard because they might schedule time. They don't have to follow back and cancel it. There's a credit card transaction fee. All that's nuisance. But when we were talking, just popped in my head, I could use that call tree system to kind of weed it out, but still get people to go through the website to schedule a time as well.
Yeah, they do have that they call it a workflow system. They do have that. I've actually integrated another feature using JotForm, which is a questionnaire system.
That's great.
And when somebody books a Calendly consultation with me, they immediately get sent an email with a link to their JotForm that is already pre-populated with their name, email, and phone, which they already gave us in Calendly. And it asks them some more detailed questions like, what kind of case do you have? What kind of relatives do you have? Do you have with this and that? And it also gives you the opportunity to even add a secondary client, because lots of times somebody's calling, but they're actually calling for maybe their immigrant spouse or their parent, right? Or they're calling for somebody else. So it asks them a question, is this case about you, or is it about, are you, booking this for someone else? And if they say someone else is included, they can enter that person's name, email, and phone, and then that person also goes into our Monday system as a secondary person.
Yeah.
So we try to get all that information up front.
How deep does that JotForm go? Is it like hardcore questionnaire, like about immigration, or just big stuff?
Yeah, the reason I use JotForm because it has conditional logic, so it can go deep if needed. And I'm actually surprised at how many people do fill it out. Like I would say about 75% of people do fill it out fully, but we still have the opportunity to edit it when we're on the phone with them. But for example, we ask a question like, have you ever been in removal proceedings? Yes or no? They may not even know what that means and they may ignore it. That's fine. Like I don't make any of my answers mandatory because I don't want anyone to feel like they have to fill this out, right? I tell them up front, just answer what you know and we'll do the rest. So, but if they say, yes, I've been in removal proceedings, a new question will open up saying, when was your last hearing? Or do you have a hearing coming up? So stuff like that can make the form not seem so big and daunting because you can have that conditional logic.
The JotForm is so powerful, and I get emails from them. I signed up and I have it, but I don't use it yet because it's on my to-do list. But I keep getting emails from them like how integrated it is, how powerful it is, really
And
dominating the phone
what's
system.
really cool is it can be easily translated by the client into a different language. So there's a little button at the top right when the client gets their jot form that they can click on and say, and you can specify which languages, and you can make sure that your questions are properly translated. It'll translate it for you. So if you pick Spanish, Jotform will tell you, here's what I think the question should be in Spanish, but you know how sometimes wording doesn't work out. So you can actually change that and save it. So when your client clicks on Spanish, all the questions will be properly formatted in Spanish, and then they can answer in Spanish too.
That's incredible. The level of service that this tech stuff allows you to do is so great. No,
Yeah,
I've a team now, and it's opened my opportunity up to go and get more deep into this kind of stuff and analyze them, and not handling cases 24/7. So they just say this stuff. I'm like, oh, that's a boatload of stuff. I got to get to the job for. I got to go to the translation aspect because we have multiple language speakers. So I'm like, they can test out the Russian version, they can test out the Urdu
yeah,
version, all this kind of stuff, and
yeah,
really help our clients.
yeah,
One neat thing, what I use Calendly and I send like links for a 15-minute quick chat or something like that. And I've
yeah,
had people take that link and then give it to their friends. Also, I'll get consultation bookings. And so my associate brought to my attention that they have a feature that's a one-time link that's like one-time use. So
yeah.
once they use it, they can't share it because no one else uses it again. So I'm
That's
like,
a
okay,
great
that's not a
idea.
big deal.
Yeah. They also have a nice poll feature. Like, you're familiar with the doodle poll, right? When you're trying to coordinate a meeting. The
Yeah.
doodle poll is great, but you get these annoying ads and it's not very, Calendly has a cool poll feature. I've been using it now. So you can actually, tell Calendly, okay, these are the times that I'm available, and then send it out to 5 people so that those 5 people can pick when they're available. And then you pick the best time for everyone. But what Calendly can also do is reserve those times on your own calendar, right? Because the thing I hate with polls is that I may say, yeah, I'm available this day, that day, that day, that day at that time. And then by the time when it all gets booked, meanwhile, I haven't blocked off all those times, right? So now I'm not available anymore at the time you pick. So this way, I'm more using the Calendly poll rather than the Doodle poll, because I could block the time off on my calendar, and then when we pick it, I just delete the times we didn't pick.